Thank you, God. The words trembled from Duchess Eleanor Whitmore's lips as she signed the agreement. 200 shops across London would now carry her pastries. And she signed the contract at the very same kitchen table where, 6 months earlier, she had fallen to her knees begging heaven for a simple job. But the story began long before that moment. Eleanor Whitmore was 50 years old when tragedy struck. The Whitmore estate had fallen into debt after her husband, the Duke, passed unexpectedly. Creditors circled like vultures. Servants departed. The grand halls of Whitmore Manor grew quiet. With 3 young grandchildren depending on her, Eleanor searched desperately for work. She wrote letters to every household and business across London. 87 applications, not one reply. Every night she knelt beside her small bed and whispered the same prayer. Lord, I am not proud. Give me any work. I will scrub floors, wash dishes, anything. Only let me feed these children. 6 months passed. Nothing. The last of her savings disappeared, and the threat of losing the manor loomed like a storm. One Sunday morning, out of pure desperation, Eleanor baked sweet potato pies using the old recipe her grandmother had taught her as a girl. She carried 14 pies to the gates of St. Mark's Church and placed them on a small wooden table. They sold within minutes. The next Sunday, she baked 30. They vanished even faster. Soon, someone recorded the moment people argued over the last pie. The clip spread across London's social circles like wildfire. Orders flooded in. Eleanor rose each morning at 2 o'clock, baking until sunrise in her small kitchen. Her hands burned, her back ached, but the prayers she whispered now were filled with gratitude. Then came the unexpected knock. A respected restaurateur offered his kitchen so she could bake in greater quantities. Weeks later, a major London grocer arrived at her door. 1 year passed. 200 shops carried Whitmore pies. 15 workers now filled the once silent manor kitchens with laughter. She named the company Grandmother's Answer because Eleanor had asked God for a job. But heaven looked at her grandmother's recipe and said, I will give you something greater. Sometimes the answer to prayer is not smaller, it is far bigger than you ever imagined. Subscribe for more Victorian Duke stories where faith, courage, and destiny change everything.